Hi, very good morning, one and all. Let us come to 8th biology. Regarding 8th biology, at present we are discussing about the continuation of the previous topic, 6th chapter, biodiversity and its conservation. Biodiversity and its conservation as a 6th chapter or unit we are discussing. So apart from that chapter, in previously we discussed about the objectives of the chapter, like the threatened species list. What do you mean by threatened? Threatened means the species which are having the threat, because of that the rate is decreasing enormously, which gives the alarming rate of that the particular species. So out of the 100 most, the total world list, our India is having 4 species. Out of 4 species, our AP is having the 2 species. So it is a great privilege of the AP which are having the rare species. If we have to more concentrate on that the particular species of these 2 species, we have to enhance the number and we have to save this threatened list to this the normal species. So this is the concept of threatened species list. Next, what is meant by biodiversity? Bio means life, diverse means different forms. That means the variety and variability. Diversity is the hallmark of the nature. Diversity is the symbol of the nature. So biodiversity means life is not in a unique patterns. Life is certainly in a different forms, different species. So for example, let us take a animal kingdom or a plant kingdom. So regarding this entire the animal kingdom or a plant kingdom, we are having the number of lakhs of species are exist in the nature. So all these species are living together in a beautiful coordination that makes a beautiful creature, that makes a beautiful nature. That is very important to exist any species in the nature. Why? Because we are having the ecological balance. I mean that the point of food chain or a food web, it is very important concept regarding to existence of the species in the nature. Next we are moving to the variations in plants and animals. So variations are nothing but that the differences in the closely related groups. For example, say tigers species or cat species. Of course, the tiger is the largest family of cat. So certainly there is a lot of differences between the cat and the tiger. For example, let us come into the variations in the human beings, like Japanese, Negroes, Americans, West Indies, so Australians. So we are having a lot of differences between the one country to another country. So this is about variations in plants as well as animals. See, next, biodiversity as a case study. Regarding biodiversity, in the textbook we are having a real story of Rampachodavaram. Rampachodavaram is a dense forest which is located in AP, but previously it was in a dense forest. Because of that human activities intervention, the destruction of the natural habitats of that Rampachodavaram forest, it becomes to loss of vulnerable species like flora and fauna. Next, endangered species. The species which are in endangered position. Already in the textbook they are given that some of the species which are becomes to endangered. I was explaining in the previous classes. So this is the list of some of the organisms like plants and animals which are in a endangered list. Next, coming to the red data list book. So what is meant by red data? Red, the color of the red is always giving the alarming. That means red means it's in a dangerous situation. So the species which are an endangered species that are entered in the red data list book. Next, endemic species. Endemic species in the mean the species which are restricted to a particular area. For example, see, this is called as a endemic species. For example, white tiger, peacock, white tiger and echidna. So peacock and white tiger, echidna, these are restricted to a particular area. For example, see, Australia, we are having the kangaroos only in Australia continent because of they are restricted to that particular country. Echidna or kiwis. So these species are particular to the particular habitat. If the habitat is restricted, the complete endemic species are becomes to endangered species. Is clear, children? Next we are having the invasive alien species. So what do you mean by invasive alien species? In generally, crows are local to any place. But while coming to the Hyderabad pigeon is local. So they are having the more influence on that crows population. So they have to avoid that crows and they have to dominate that the crows population. So this is called as a water icon. This plant is dominant that other plants, so that entire the pond or entire the agricultural canal is occupied by this water icon plants. This is called as a invasive alien species. See children, so far we discussed about that the objectives of this chapter. Till now we discussed about that threatened list. What is biodiversity? Variations in plants and animals and human beings. Biodiversity as the case study of Rampochodavaram. A real story of Rampochodavaram. Endangered species, red data book list, endemic species as well as the invasive alien species. So till now we discussed about these topics in the previous videos. Now in this session exclusively we are going to discuss about 3 more topics. Those are obviously the first and foremost one is value of biodiversity and its conservation. So first we should know about what is meant by biodiversity, then we have to understand the concept of the value of biodiversity. As I said previously, the biodiversity is the worth of more than rather than the gold. So the value of biodiversity means the importance of biodiversity. So first we have to go to the to pose a questions regarding biodiversity, then we have to get the clarity of importance or the value of biodiversity. So regarding that one, why should we conserve a small insects, especially bees and butterflies? See children, in the textbook concern they are given to the why should we conserve the butterflies or bees? Why should we conserve these butterflies or bees? Because as we know that the small insects like these bees and butterflies are the best pollinating agents which can facilitate to the pollination. When the pollination is occurs, it can be impact on the crop production. So in that point of view, these small insects and the bees and butterflies we have to conserve, we have to protect. Next, what will happen if all these insects are becomes extinct? Suppose if you are not taking a proper care of these small insects, indiscriminately we are using the pesticides more and more quantities. Obviously, the large quantities of pesticides, insecticides, fungicides or herbicides, these chemical fertilizers are impact on that these population and finally they are becomes to extinct. Next question, what can be done to save these insects? Then what we are supposed to do to enhance this number? Yes, certainly we have to utilize the pesticides, especially we are seeking to the biofertilizers in a limited quantities or alternative traditional methods like panchagavya or biofertilizers or vermiculture. So these are the traditional ways we have to protect these insects which are helping to the pollination. Otherwise, so when we are coming to the 9th class chapter production of management of plants and animals. So in this chapter they have to explain about so this is the pollination agents like bees and butterflies. If you have to kill these bees and butterflies by using the pesticides indiscriminately, then we are supposed to do by manual pollination. So this is the question which occurs if these are options are completely extinct. So children, understand the importance of these pollination agents, especially like these small bees and butterflies. Now we are coming to that what can be done to save these insects or any other population? Yes, efforts towards to conservation. What are the efforts we are going to take to conserve these insects or other endangered organisms, their population? So for example, see the textbook concern they are going to the Project Tiger. So efforts towards to conservation. Why should we conserve? As we know that the biodiversity importance or value of biodiversity when we learn. So then obviously we can concentrate to that importance of biodiversity. When we learn that, then we can concentrate on the conservation of biodiversity. Apart from that, the first and the best source is take a project. For example, see Project Tiger. Project Tiger. In the textbook concern, they are given to the Project Tiger. See, what is mean by project? Generally in the school, Princess, we are conducting the project. So project in the sense 4 or 5 students make a group and they have to select a project and they have to complete the project and they have to execute the project. So this is the project, means they have to exhibit in a beautiful manner. This is the student project. According to the International Biodiversity Conservation Biodiversity Meet, they should suppose to approach some projects which are related to the tiger project or a crocodile project or a snakes project. So project in the sense they have to concentrate more and more particular species and they have to enhance their number. This is called as a project. So regarding Project Tiger, we would like to learn the concepts about Project Tiger. So India has 60% of the world's tigers population. India has 60% of the world's tigers out of 100. See, past 5 years means previously 35% of the tigers were eliminated due to that some of the reasons like poaching or hunting, some of the reasons. So in 1972, the government of India has launched the program like Project Tiger. So at present, actually we are having the 27 tiger reserves. So what is meant by a reserve? Reserve means the place where we can protect the flora and fauna in a special intention, that we call as a reserves. Generally, forests are the biosphere reserves. So this is called as a tiger reserve forest. Generally, we are seeking these terms in that Nalamala forest or Nilagiri forest. See, in 1973, actually we are having the 2000 species of tigers are present in the 1973. But when we are launching this 1972 government of India has launched this tiger project. From there onwards, at present we are having the nearly 38,000 number is increased. That means nearly 1800 tigers are increased when we are concentrated, when we have to take a challenge of this tiger project. See, based on the content of this tiger project, as a do you know concept was given to the textbook concern, we are having the 5 questions. So we have to answer these questions. So how can Project Tiger help to save the wildlife? How can Project Tiger help to save the wildlife? Yes, as we said previously, tiger is a wild animal, but it is an endangered species. Why? Because the number is decreasing enormously. When we have to focus, when we have to concentrate their number, to increase their number, so then we have to take a challenge of this Project Tiger. Certainly, the Project Tiger helps to save the wildlife. Why? Because these Project Tiger helps to entire the food chain, entire the food web. See, next one. What will happen to depopulation in a forest where the tigers were present earlier? I mean that actually the tigers as a carnivorous are secondary consumers or tertiary consumers. The deers are the primary consumers, means they are called as a herbivorous. So the deers are the plant eating animals, the tigers are the animal eating organisms, that means carnivorous. So in the previously, when they are existing the deers and the tigers, there is a beautiful ecological balance. When we have to remove all the deers, the tigers are decreased enormously due to that lack of food. When the tigers are completely eliminated, the deer's population is increased. It can be impact on the herbivores. That means they have to completely grazing all these herbivores, means plants. So they have to vanish all these plants. So this is very important in the ecological balance point of view. Next one. What will happen to the plants in such an area where tiger habitat? What will happen to the plants in such an area where the tiger habitat? Yes. In a tiger habitat, obviously the tigers are kills these deers or the primary consumers. Then they have to control the primary consumers. Then it can be directly or indirectly it can be impact on the forest or a grassland area. Is clear, children? Last question. Why protection of forest is must? Of course, in previous classes onwards, we are learning about the uses of forest. Forest is a best natural habitat for wild animals especially, and the wild plants. Majority of the flora and fauna is exist in the forest area, and some other reasons we have to protect this forest is a natural habitat. Then we are going to the next concept like national parks and national bird sanctuaries. So what do you mean by national parks? The area which is provided especially for the wild animals, special care, special intention to increase their number. That areas are called as national parks. For example, zoological park. So the national parks are the areas which are set to increase the wild animals. What do you mean by sanctuaries? Sanctuaries are especially which can protect the birds. These are called as a bird sanctuaries. Nelapattu bird sanctuary, Pakal bird sanctuary. So regarding these national parks and sanctuaries, in the textbook annexure part they are given the list of the total national parks and sanctuaries which are in that present in the total India. So when we have to move to that end of the chapter, we are having the list of the total national parks and sanctuaries in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. So this is the list of some of the national parks and sanctuaries which are given that annexure page, textbook page number 100. Textbook page number 100. In the annexure of this concept, they are placed or attached to that the list of the national parks and national bird sanctuaries. So sanctuaries are the natural habitats without any boundary line. So it is look like a just natural habitat like a forest. So this is called as a sanctuary. But while coming to the national parks, so the national park is the biggest area, the largest part of area which is allotted for the different kinds of species, especially the wild animals. Means national parks are located, or national parks are the places which are having a particular boundary line. The bird sanctuaries doesn't have any particular boundary line. These are the clear differences between the national parks and the sanctuaries. Thank you, children. Thank you for watching this video. In the next video, we are going to conclude the topic of biodiversity and its conservation, birds migration, and recycling of paper. So these are the two more concepts which are having the remaining concept. The two concepts we have to cover in the next video, and we are going to conclude the total 6th chapter, biodiversity and its conservation. Thank you, children. Thank you for watching this video.